In business and even in our personal life, I think most of us run on autopilot. What I mean by that is we have built an operating system, an internal operating system, over the years with our years of experience, our perception about the world and people, and we have created this operating system. And over time, this operating system becomes us because it drives our choices, it shapes our decision, even our leadership style, how we show up. It becomes our default. We start mistaking that operating system for truth, for who we are, how we should show up. Even when deep down we know that parts of it are outdated and does not work for us any longer. I think why we do that is because it protects us in some way. It's like an armor. It keeps us safe from hurt. But there's a downside to that way of operating. It also blinds us to our new possibilities, new realities, and growth. So, one of the most stubborn pieces of this old code is the belief that showing that I am not sure, I am uncertain, or emotionally exposing is unsafe. We think saying I don't know, or I need help, or I'm not sure makes us look weak, naive, or even stupid or foolish. So we build walls. We project invincibility. We want to show we know it all. We hide behind that armor because it feels safe, despite the cost. But here is the truth. I think that instinct is so wrong. And Brené Brown, in her research, calls vulnerability is the birthplace of innovation, creativity, and change. And even neuroscience, Matthew Lieberman, for example, social psychologist, found that when someone opens up, admits their mistake, shares their feeling, asks for help, it activates the brain's trust and empathy circuits. In short, vulnerability does not weaken connection, in fact, it builds it. Try it. Harvard research even shows that the lack of trust is the number one reason why teams fail. Isn't that fascinating? So, vulnerability is not liability, it's a leverage. Think about this, when leaders admit what they don't know, fear drops. The teams really want to speak up and they share. When leaders say, I need your help, people stop holding back ideas. And when the leaders share their doubts, they don't lose authority. They earn respect for that authenticity and openness. There's a researcher, Amy Edmondson at Harvard, who says this very beautifully that vulnerability is not optional, it's the fact of human leadership. And we can see it in the real world as a proof. Satya Nadella, for example, when he became the CEO of Microsoft in 2014, he didn't tighten control, he made empathy and humility the core values. And he said, I am not an expert in everything. He rebuilt the trust and innovation across the company. That's raw honesty, right? And such a powerful clarity. There was a global CEO that I worked with once, was of a manufacturing business. He was raised to please everyone. Most of us are, people pleasing patterns. But that pattern made him avoid conflict, and that pattern costed him authority and influence and growth. In one of the coaching sessions, when he admitted that I fear confrontation, that realization, the penny dropped. Literally, his leadership changed from that moment on. He discovered calm authority. His team changed, not by pretending, but by being real. There's a very powerful statement from McKinsey as it sums it up very well. The more open and truthful and authentic a leader is, the more people open up and the more respect the leaders gain. It's time to challenge that old script that we have been running, old operating system that we have been running, guys. Vulnerability equals weakness. No, it equals courage. Being real undermines your authority. No, it in fact amplifies it. Because here's the bottom line, guys. Business today is more uncertain, far more complex, far more speedier than ever before. So the tough guy model no longer works on this environment where the workforce is craving authenticity, collaboration, innovation. Know it all leaders breed silence, whereas learn it all leaders create that openness, that innovation, create that space, create that culture. There's one more Hubert Joly, if you know, he said, if you lose you lose trust when you give the impression that you have everything under control, because people are smart, people know things, they can sense when you are performing leadership or when you are practicing it. So next time, uncertainty in the face of unsure, uncertain situation, be it a meeting or a decision or a pitch, pause before you reach for that armor. I would say I don't know. Ask for insight. Admit how you feel, what you feel. You will be surprised. People would not step back. In fact, they step forward. Because when you drop the armor and show up your humanity, your authentic humanity, you don't lose power. You gain that trust and deeper level of connection and a lasting influence. So if you're ready to try it, let's talk. Because real strength lies in the courage to be real in this world, isn't it?